So you're thinking about moving to Bellevue, Washington. Well, in this video, it's going to be the most in-depth video that we have. It's going to be a little bit on the longer side, but we're going to hop into my computer on the map feature to show you a little bit more about where Bellevue is located in relation to everything else, what is specifically in Bellevue. We'll zoom in on the map feature to show you some of the cool attractions and spots to see, and then we're going to take a look at the 5 best neighborhoods in Bellevue, or not just the best, but kind of a wide variety of price points, and then of course we'll get to the best one at the end there, so make sure to stick around, and we're gonna get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in King County, Washington, or places like Bellevue like we're talking about today, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified of a new video of Bellevue or one of our other favorite cities here in King County. I'm Brad Decatur with the Decatur Home Team, and we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day who are looking to make their move to King County. So whether you're 1 day or 1 year away, we would love to help you out. The information is all below for our contact information. You can shoot us a text, DM, email, or we can hop on a Zoom call. So we'd love to help you make a smooth move to King County. So again, today's the map video, so I'm gonna get off this camera and hop into the computer, and we'll see you there. All right, everybody, thank you for joining. We are gonna record this on Zoom, is the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to share the screen here. Okay, here we go. So I like to start with kind of zooming out a little bit. So here is the border of Bellevue. And so we're going to hop out to show you guys kind of a little bit more about what's near Bellevue in relation to where it's located, not to all the way of Washington, but like, you know, airport, Seattle, the mountains for skiing and stuff like that. So then we'll hop in, we'll zoom into Bellevue to look at what's going on in Bellevue. Then as promised, we'll hit those neighborhoods up too. So Bellevue's a pretty big city. You know, Seattle's pretty huge. Let me get my tool here. All right, so we got our tool out now. So yeah, so Seattle is, you know, a much bigger city, all the way up to Shoreline here, and then all the way down. Burion's technically a Seattle address, then not Tukwila. So Seattle here is pretty big, but Bellevue is definitely a pretty another pretty big city, but definitely not as big as Bellevue. So that's where Seattle is in relation to Bellevue. Can we zoom out here? All right, so next up we have the airport. Airport is going to be right here in SeaTac, the SeaTac airport. So as far as like drive times and things like that, so I forgot to mention Seattle drive times, but as you can probably see, if you're in Bellevue here, you know, anywhere in Bellevue, really, I mean, it's all pretty close to I-90 and 520. So 520 is the freeway here that runs through. I-90 is the one that goes here, goes all the way to Eastern Washington. So as far as like going to the Seattle Mariners game or, you know, the Seahawks game, something like that, if you're in downtown Bellevue area, it's going to be super quick. This freeway drive from hopping on from, you know, I-90 right here on when it intersects with 405 to getting to downtown, I mean, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, it's very, very short. So the drive to the airport, if you're in Bellevue, still not too bad, probably about 25 minutes sometimes, depending on traffic, what's going on there. So that's kind of the main things that are right around here. We do have the Renton in the, so we have Newcastle right butting up to Bellevue, and then it pretty much hits up into Renton. Renton's a pretty big one here, all the way to Fairwood, kind of goes around that lake. That is about the Renton area. Issaquah is going to be what it butts up to next, which is going to be around this general area. Issaquah is actually pretty big. It goes all the way to Miramont. So that's Issaquah right there. And then, of course, right above Bellevue, we're going to have Kirkland and Redmond. So we got Kirkland right above it and also Redmond right above it. These are also some great cities with some good tech and a lot of jobs. I would say most of the jobs are going to be held here as far as, you know, tech jobs and like kind of bigger skyscraper type stuff, all going to be in Seattle, Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond. That's where the hub is at. So Bellevue's right in the thick of it, the most expensive market, but Kirkland is a great market. Redmond as well. We have videos on all those you guys can check out. This one, of course, is about Bellevue. So we'll get back to it. But as far as things around Bellevue, without zooming in on what's in Bellevue, which is the majority of this video, it's really just letting you know that Seattle's right next to it. The airport is pretty quick drive here in Tukwila. Only thing else I'll really mention for outside of Bellevue is how close you are to the nearest mountain. So Snoqualmie Pass, here you can see it right here on the right-hand side, right here, Snoqualmie Pass. So from Bellevue, it looks like it's pretty far. It's actually not that far. I would say it's about 45 minutes from, like, if you're hopping right here on the intersection to get to I-90. It's going to take you about 45 minutes to Snoqualmie Pass. If we click on it, we might see some pictures or something. Yeah, cool. Snoqualmie Pass is a great spot. There's Alpental as well, which is within Snoqualmie Pass for skiing and snowboarding. Cool. So that kind of does it for what's outside of, oh, now, of course, I got rid of the Bellevue part. So let me zoom out and get back to Bellevue. Now let's go ahead and hop in and figure out what is going on right within Bellevue, which is the majority of this video. Let me type Bellevue back in so it gives it a highlight. Bellevue, Washington. There we go. There's the highlighted section. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is going to be some of the schools, some of the main attractions, and then we'll go ahead and hit into the neighborhoods as promised. So first thing, we got the high school, Bellevue High School. It's going to be right off Bellevue Way here. So let's find downtown. Here we go. Oops. So it's west of 405. Here we go. So here's Bellevue High School right here. So just off Bellevue Way, this, by the way, so when you're looking at Bellevue kind of zoomed out, the downtown is west of the 405 here. So you can see Bellevue's majority is on the right side here. On the left side is where the actual downtown. So if you ever hear someone talk about downtown Bellevue, they're talking about this area right here, which is where Bellevue Square is. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, high school right here in the downtown area, right off Bellevue Way Southeast. Bellevue High School is an amazing spot. I guess they might have some pictures here. We'll show you some footage here in a minute about Bellevue High School. So I'll just stay along with that trend for now and show you this area of downtown first. So, all right, so the first thing we're going to see is Bellevue Square. Bellevue Square, if you watch the vlog tour, or if you haven't, go ahead and take a look at it. But Bellevue Square is the hub. Downtown Bellevue Park, Bellevue Square, this whole area right here, this is the thick of it, downtown Bellevue. There's skyscrapers all around here too. There's, you know, the Hyatt, the W, the Westin are the hotels that are right in the area. There's a good multiple condo projects that are pretty much high rises, so really luxury condos. We did a video on that as well. So that's going to be like, the Bellevue collection is going to be a new condo version, but there's going to be the Lincoln Towers, the Avenue project, the Bellevue Towers. Those are all right here as well. But Bell Square is a shopping mall. If I click on it, we'll probably see some pictures. We'll show you some footage right now of Bellevue Square because it's an amazing spot. This is definitely the first checklist for, you know, attractions like, hey, what's going on in Bellevue? I would probably say Bellevue Square and Bellevue Park are the first things that I would probably say. So that's right here. Again, we'll show you footage of it right now. Here is the Bellevue Downtown Park. We'll show you some footage of that right now as well while I keep talking. But the Bellevue Park is actually quite amazing. They have the ice rinks there. Obviously, just all the grass that you can see in the video here. So lots of good stuff there in the Bellevue Park. As far as Bell Square goes, tons of great shopping. Like you can see here, Nordstrom's has their own little deal here. They got Macy's, but it's a shopping mall, so they really have everything you need. Tons and tons of stores, lots of good luxury stores as well. Place to eat, food court, the whole shebang. So you're pretty standard mall, but Bellevue Square, because Bellevue's a pretty luxury area, it is a really nice mall. So that's a good spot. If you kind of go down Bellevue Way, there's also lots of other attractions and food and things like that. The Bellevue Art Museum, which I just clicked on, that's a good one. They have some fancy restaurants. Daniel's Broiler would be a good steakhouse. John Howie, also a great steakhouse. Ruth's Chris used to be right at the Bell Square there. They actually closed down during COVID. So during 2020, unfortunately, never opened back up. So that's kind of your downtown area. Of course, I'm going to be missing tons of stuff because look at all these things on the map. I mean, this isn't even me zooming in, but each building is obviously something. So lots of good stuff right in the downtown Bellevue area. So back to schools. I showed you the high school. I want to show you the college as well. So there is a Bellevue College, which is a community college. So a lot of people attend that area, or excuse me, that school who are local here, right here, Bellevue College. So Bellevue College is a great spot, great campus, good school. If you're someone who's not going to like UW or something, Bellevue College is going to be a great spot for you to get your AA and further education. All right, so let's just kind of split Bellevue up into a few areas. So let me get my highlighter tool out again. We'll stay right here so we can see the whole thing. I think it's important to know, because Bellevue is pretty big, to kind of know what the areas are, and then eventually we'll start talking about neighborhoods and price points. So let me start with that. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I'm pretty much just winging. I had no plans of specifically what to show you, but I'm from the area here in Issaquah, the neighboring city, born and raised. So know Bellevue pretty well. This is where we go for this is like my downtown. I don't go to Seattle as often, so Bellevue's the spot we go for entertainment. So definitely know what's been going on here. Okay, so let's separate Bellevue out into a few different areas. So there's the cheaper end areas, which is going to be the Factoria and Eastgate areas. So that's going to be closer to Bellevue College. So this is kind of the Eastgate area. It's going to go into here. And then the Factoria area, Coal Creek, this is kind of Newcastle area, is going to be right here. So I don't think I can zoom in when I have this feature on, but these are going to be your a little bit better price points, definitely a little bit older neighborhoods. There's a lot of older neighborhoods throughout Bellevue as well, but those are your first two areas that you will want to focus on. This is basically south Bellevue. So Eastgate and Factoria. Factoria, if I zoom in, gotta get rid of that thing again. If I zoom in on Factoria area, so here you see Factoria has the name there, Eastgate right here. I consider Eastgate, I don't know if the map does or not, but up in Bellevue College area as well. Like these are the Eastgate shopping centers. To me, that's what we call it. Eastgate also goes down into here a little bit, but Factoria is this whole area, and this is another mall. So we have Bellevue Square, which is the big mall right up here. Down south, we have the Factoria Mall, which is another huge mall, shopping center. It's got all of it. It's got, Target, Walmart, I think it has. Nike, it looks like. Again, it's a mall. So there's restaurants, there's good things to eat, there's good stores. Bellevue Square will be a little bit more luxury stores and just that kind of stuff. So this is a little bit more of a cheaper end, but still a great spot. So that's your Factoria and Eastgate area. So think South Bellevue, a little bit better price points. And I would just kind of consider it just south of I-90. I mean, like I said, it does go up into here a little bit. I consider this the Eastgate Shopping Center here. But basically, if you're south of I-90, you're going to have changing price points and a little bit different landscape just in general. So continuing on with the different areas, like I already mentioned, we do have the downtown Bellevue, which is right here, which is going to be west of the let me get the thing back out of here. Okay. So again, downtown Bellevue is going to be where Bell Square is at, which is all going to be west of the 405 here. So this is kind of your downtown Bellevue area right here. Again, down south was Factoria and Eastgate. And then there's going to be the Crossroads. Crossroads is another kind of, they have their own, shopping center, commercial areas, not skyscrapers. So the rest of Bellevue is not really the same as the downtown. The downtown is the skyscraper. It's like your Seattle part of Bellevue, but very nice. That's the main difference, by the way, between Seattle and Bellevue. They're both have great industries, tech jobs, all that stuff. Bellevue is just much more luxury and quite honestly, just much nicer, cleaner. Seattle can be not quite as nice and clean. So Crossroads has their own shopping center as well. And there's a ton of different neighborhoods. We're going to get into the neighborhoods here in a minute. So I'll wait for that. But Crossroads is another just kind of general area. So even if you live like right over here, you might say that you live in Crossroads, even though it's not like where the Crossroads thing says here. Here's Crossroads Park. So I consider the Crossroads area this entire kind of area here. Okay. And then we have the Lake Hills area, which is another area, which this I would consider a kind of more of a neighborhood as well. And that kind of goes all the way until it butts up to what I would consider Eastgate. And then there's the Bridle Trails area, which is kind of where it overlaps into Redmond. So that's kind of the north area of Bellevue. So that's probably a little messy. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I'll do a quick review and then we'll hop into the neighborhoods. So again, down south Bellevue, we have Factoria and Eastgate. West of 405, we have the downtown Bellevue. And then east of the I-405, we have a few different areas. We have the Crossroads area, We have the Bridle Trails area up the very north, and then we have the Lake Hills and the Crossroads area. And so that's all. That's going to give you your main areas of Bellevue. There's not specific borders on them. That's just what we locals. That's kind of the areas that we talk about, and they're all going to have a little bit different real estate prices, different neighborhood feels, all that kind of stuff. And we'll get into that here in a minute. So let's start with some prices. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually hop into the MLS here. You guys can see this will be live, real. Oops. Might have to log in. Okay. So this will be live up to date. So today you can probably see it if I'm doing screen recording. This is November 30th right now. So there'll be no hiding anything. This is exactly what's happening. Let's start with just kind of seeing some active properties and maybe some pending properties so that we can get a sense for what is in each area. And then we'll talk about the neighborhoods that I want to see as well. So we'll take a look at the map feature here. Let's just do the active ones so we get a little bit less messy. Just active properties, all price points. Okay. So if we head down to Factoria and Eastgate area, let's see kind of what's in that area. So I know this neighborhood has a lot of older houses. Let's do this one. Oh, it's for rent. Never mind. So for 2 million, 3 million, a little expensive there. So let's just click on a few. Let's see what we got going on here. So 1.8 million, 2,900 square feet. So pretty big house, 3,000 square feet. This is still above the average price point, but a nice little house, fully updated. If you guys haven't known already, this is your first video that you're watching. Bellevue is a very, very expensive market. It's the most expensive market, Mercer Island too, but in this area here in King County. So Bellevue is kind of like where it's at, very expensive. It's going to be hard to find anything. Let's just do this for fun, actually. Let's see what's under $1 million and not a condo, single family, only 12 houses. Okay. So they're mostly in the Crossroads area, and here we have in Factoria. So here's $1 million property, 1,200 square feet. Obviously needs some work, it looks like. So that's your starter package, right? Getting anything in Bellevue under $1 million for a single family house, almost not possible. In the Crossroads area, we should see a couple. There's a couple of neighborhoods that have your older houses like Ramblers, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square feet, that kind of thing, which is right sitting around $1 million. At one point, they were even more than $1 million. Here we go. That's actually a bigger house. That's a townhome. 850, 1,600 square feet. Here we go. This is what I think of when I think of like kind of the entry level, right? So we got a 3-bed, 1 3/4 bath, 1,500 square feet, and they're trying to sell it now for $1 million. They started at $1,050,000. But this is a good example of what this Crossroads area is going to get you for a starter package, blue carpet, right? So as you can see, like it's not getting much below $1 million. $1 million is going to be your starter area. Here we go. And we'll go ahead and show you. So the first neighborhood we'll go through since we're here is going to be Crossroads. So we'll show you some footage here in a minute about showing you the actual drive-through neighborhood footage that we got from our different video, which is going to show you some of the Crossroads area, okay? So take a look at that, but this is going to be your starter package price points. Let's get out of the $1 million range now. Let's go 2 million, or sorry, we'll see 1.5 to like 3 million. See what we got here, and then eventually we'll get to some luxury and show you guys that area. So down here in Factoria, it looks like we have some. This is probably the Somerset neighborhood. Sorry, that's for rent. No, sorry, no, it's not. 2.85. So this one has a good view. So different story there. Views are very expensive. So 3,500 square feet, very nice big house. Look at this thing. Stucco. We don't see that a lot. Interesting sighting. So we're not going to go through every picture. I just want to get you guys an idea of like kind of what is the bang for your buck. If you guys were interested in like learning a lot more, then obviously we'd hop on Zoom and get more detailed on the criteria of what you're actually looking for. Here's a 2.4 in Newport area, 3,700 square feet. So pretty big house, really big house. Very good. $2.7. This is like almost new construction, it looks like. Let's see when it was built. 2022. Yep, new construction. Beautiful house. There's lots of new construction in Bellevue, not because there's tons of land to develop again, but it's because the market's gotten so well that they're just tearing down a lot of the old ramblers and they're building these new construction. As long as the lot's big enough, they have the right setbacks and zoning. They're just tearing those down and getting these things up for 2.5 to 3 million. Yeah, beautiful house. So that's 2.8 million. So let's specifically take a look at a few neighborhoods. So I want to show you sort of the pretty luxury ones. There's one right next to Bell Square that I want to show you here. Clyde Hill is another one. We'll get to that in a minute. Actually, let's do it now. So Clyde Hill is a great neighborhood. So Clyde Hill and Medina are two neighborhoods that the locals would really, they're a Bellevue address. They don't have their own address or anything, but people would say, like, if you talk to someone who lives in Medina, they would say they live in Medina. They wouldn't say they live in Bellevue. It's like, that's like their spot, right? So same with Clyde Hill. They almost refer to it as a city. So it looks like I'm not seeing any actives right in Clyde Hill. I don't think this one's in Clyde Hill. Let me see if there's some solds or pendings so that we can see one that's actually in the neighborhood. So Clyde Hill is a great neighborhood. Definitely a more luxury neighborhood. I guess this is Clyde Hill on this side. There's just not a lot of activity. Clyde Hill, there's just, yeah, not much going on. Okay, yeah. So Clyde Hill Elementary, I was checking the schools to see. So this one is 2.6 million Clyde Hill. And but the thing is we've seen those prices before, but this is just a regular size, a little bit more regular, 2,800 square feet, as opposed to those big new construction ones at like 4,000 square feet. Nice looking house though. Clyde Hill has bigger lots too. So they were built a longer time ago and they have bigger size lots, bigger driveways, yards, things like that. That's a good one. Okay. Awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Lake Hills neighborhood. That's a good one. So Lake Hills is going to be good. I would call this like kind of your average, right? So let's see. Let's just take a look at one. 2.1. Oh, let's look at the last 90 days, by the way, just so prices have changed a little bit recently. All right, back to Lake Hills. Here's one right on the sign. So 2,700 square feet, $2.1 million. Actually has a yard, right? So more traditional house, not extremely updated, not terrible in the kitchen though. Okay, so that's getting you 2,700 square feet in Lake Hills. So how about some Crossroads right next to this is a bigger house, 3,500 square feet, 2.8 million. A little bit more luxury of a house in size. So hopefully here we'll check out Bridal Trails as well. Here's an active 2.5. Oh, I think I have my criteria set for 1.5 to 3 million too. Let's not do that so we can see other ones too. See if there's one in Bridal Trails. 2.5 million. So this one's 4,000 square feet. Look at that nice little farmhouse. So this is over a half an acre. This is 0.8 acres. So pretty big lot here. Stunning Bridal Trails estate. Very nice. On a horse acre lot. Very cool. So this is your Bridal Trail. So I should mention, so yeah, Bridal Trails has this, I guess, horse property, not this horse property here, but there's like a place where they board horses and they have all these horse trails. So it's a really good spot for someone who is looking for a little bit more land. Probably going to be an older house. They have a lot of, they've done some tear downs and also some big remodels to make like a really cool HGTV farmhouse type deal. But also a lot of older houses on a little bit bigger lots. If you have a horse, definitely a good spot for you. All right, so now we're going to check out Medina, which is next to Clyde Hill here. This actually does have its own address. So or excuse me, so it's its own city though, even though it's like, I consider it right in Bellevue here, but it's a really luxury spot. So let's take a look. This is going to be the high end. So this is, just so you guys know, I'm not sure which house it is here on the map, but this is where Jeff Bezos lives, the owner of Amazon. So on the water here, Medina is going to be really fancy stuff. Let's just see what this one is. 10 million. There we go. Not even on the water. Has a nice view though. 4,000 square feet. So you can see we've already seen houses that are 4,000 square feet that are in the more like the couple million, 2 or 3 million. This one's 10 million because it's in Medina, has a massive view, pool. So Medina is the spot. This is the luxury spot here in Bellevue, or in Medina, I guess I should say. Here's 5 million, 3,000 square feet, close to the golf course. It's barely even a house at all. That's a teardown. So they're selling teardowns for 5 million here in Medina. They don't even have, here it says calling investors and dreamers. This has no pictures of the inside, so obviously it's not like maintained or anything. So that alone should give you a pretty good sense of Medina. They're selling a teardown for 5 million. That's pretty crazy. Look at this, $23 million sold, 9,000 square feet on the water. Just beautiful. Look at that thing. Unbelievable. I won't spend too much time. I don't know if every viewer is going to be, you know, I mean, I don't know anyone looking for 23 million. If you guys are, hit me up. I'll help you out. All right. So that's going to give us a good idea. Hopefully. Oh. All right, so that's going to give us a good idea, hopefully, of kind of what is going on in Bellevue as far as the actual price points. Just hopping right in the MLS, these are actually active houses for sale. Of course, if you're watching this in 2 or 3 years or whatever, however long this exists on YouTube, then these prices will not be the same. But hopefully you get at least a sense of an idea about the price points. You know, your starter houses, Crossroads, Lake Hills area, a little Rambler for $1 million, starter house, closer to 2 million, 1.7, 1.8 for like a regular house, which would be like 2,000 square feet. It's pretty similar price points here in the Factoria and Eastgate area. And then, of course, really expensive here in the downtown Bellevue area. And then we have places like Clyde Hill and Medina specifically, which is just absolutely, you know, luxury to the max. Bridal Trails is going to be up here, which is going to be your a little bit more acreage, older houses, and like the horse property type stuff. They have the sweet Bridal Trails horse runs and everything, and trails. And then we have these houses also have views of Lake Sammamish. And of course, we have lakefront properties as well. So there's a big variety. I don't want to take the video too long. We could do this forever. But hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Top neighborhoods, if I had to define, I didn't do a good job of like defining them, but you know, Medina is definitely one of them as far as top neighborhoods. Clyde Hill, some other neighborhoods that aren't like top neighborhoods, but they are ones that you should know about, is the Factoria and Eastgate areas. Not a specific neighborhood in there, but like Newport Hills is a good neighborhood. Lake Hills is a good neighborhood. I want to do one more. Let's see if I can find it on the MLS actually. Not seeing one for sale, but I think there's one that sold soon recently. So this is called the Viewcrest neighborhood. In our vlog tour, we did a video here. So this is a good one. So 3.5 is like your starter house in Viewcrest. This is a great neighborhood. We can show you some footage of the Viewcrest neighborhood right here. This is one of my favorite ones. So this is going to be on the lower end. This is only 1,600 square feet, but it's listed at 3.5. The reason that these things are so highly priced is because the neighborhood is just so great. And it's also just a perfect location right next to downtown Bellevue. If I am on the map feature here, this right here is the neighborhood, the Viewcrest neighborhood. And you see that like Nordstrom's is right here. And this is all of Bell Square right downtown. Here's the downtown Bellevue Park. So that this is the only one it's like the closest neighborhood to downtown that actually feels like a neighborhood, like with sidewalks, with streets. If you're in there's of course luxury right here in the skyscrapers and like the condo towers, but this is your probably best vicinity, closest vicinity, and actually in a really nice, real legit neighborhood. So 3 million is like your low end. I think there's an $8 million one here somewhere.
Must have sold a while ago. There's one for 8 million in here too. So kind of a variety depending on the size of the house, but that's all I got for you guys. I was pretty jumbled, so I do apologize. Hopefully, it was somewhat helpful, but this is the Bellevue area. I think it might be more helpful to watch the pros and cons video that we have, talking specifically about what we like about Bellevue, what we don't like, and then also the vlog tour if you want to see some more of the actual footage of like what it looks like in Bellevue. As always, though, if this is your first time exploring the area of Bellevue or just in King County in general, make sure to check out the other videos. You know, if it's not Bellevue you're looking for, if it's too expensive, then you can look at the neighboring cities. I am born and raised in the Sammamish Issaquah area right over here. There's a board change, but I claim that I'm from both. And I live also near here as well right now in Maple Valley. So we have videos of all the different areas. So check out all the Bellevue videos, vlogs, and everything else. And if you're interested in exploring other areas, Kirkland, Redmond, Sammamish, Issaquah, we have playlists for those. So check those out. And thank you guys so much for watching.